Hey guys, it's Landon Blake with Redefine Horizons and LandonBlake.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create and edit an XML file in XML Developer from Oxygen. I spent quite a bit of time looking at the different options for a good XML editor, graphical XML editor, and I think that the product from Oxygen is the best one that's available in 2023 here, January 2023. There are some other paid options, but I feel like this provided the best value. I think the developer subscription was about $99 for about 6 months, and there's some different versions. The developer version is kind of the mid-tier version, and that's about all that I needed. That package of functionality that comes in developer was all that I needed. So it's a good tool, and I think it's the best value that I could find. So when you first open it up, you'll get a screen like this, and what we're going to do is we're going to create a new project, and we're going to find a place to put that here. So I'm just in my documents folder, and I'm going to just put this in survey analyst folder. Okay. So I'll choose that folder, and then my project is going to be called Survey Analyst XML. Okay. So I've got a new project now, and this XPR is their project file. But what we want to do now is we're just going to click this folder, and we're going to say we want a new file, and we want to make an XML document. You can see there's different types of files you can make here. We're just going to create an XML document. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just kind of sketch out a rough XML document for for a plugin I'm going to hopefully write for QGIS, which is a GIS desktop GIS program that lets you integrate survey data into QGIS and link your features to survey points, kind of like the old ArcGIS Survey Analyst did. So what I want to do in this XML file is I want to kind of sketch out what the file format will look like that will be used to load the survey data into QGIS. And the nice thing about XML is that's a file that'll be fairly easy not only to read in other software packages, but also it's human readable. That's one of the reasons why I like XML. And I'm not going to go into detail on what XML is in this video. I assume you have an idea of what XML is. There's several YouTube videos that will explain XML if you don't know what that is, but it's human readable, and it's easy to it's a good format to use to transfer structured data between software packages. And so we'll actually, in addition to the QGIS plugin, I hope to actually release some open source library code in Python that'll read this format. So the first thing we need to do is create our root element. So we're going to call that survey data set in this XML file. And you can see as you enter that, it automatically creates your closing tag for you, which is helpful. Okay, so then my next element is going to be field surveys. Okay, again, it's creating those tags, and then a field survey element can have one or more field surveys element. Okay, so then in a field survey, we're going to have what we call point groups. Okay, and then we're going to have some built-in point groups. So control is one, boundary is another one. We're going to have topo, and this may change a little bit. This is just what I had sketched out. Utilities. So these are just, kind of typical points that you would have in a field survey file. And we'll probably make these elements optional. So you won't have to have all these in your file. It'll only create the elements if those points are present. Monitoring. Alright, and then the last one I have is just going to be other. Okay, so that takes care of that. There's one I wanted to show you in here. Okay, so that is so the field survey is one element there. Now what's nice is these are collapsible. Okay, so it's fairly easy to collapse those. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add my next element. So a survey data set has field surveys. Then we're going to have what's called a COGO collection. So that'll allow you to add COGO geometry from like a filed survey map. Okay, and those are going to hold COGO groups. Oop. Okay, and I'm not going to flesh this whole thing out. I just want to give you guys a flavor of this. So then we're going to have survey points. So that's where we'll store the actual point data. And then we're going to have feature links. So that's where we're going to link GIS features to survey points. Okay. So, and I do want to show you what something looks like with an attribute. So let's go ahead and fold these up. We don't need these. Okay, so in, let's see, was it in feature links? No, in survey points, we're going to have a point. Okay, and then it's going to have a name attribute. It's going to have a unique ID attribute, which is usually a point number. You know what, I just called that number, so let's just do that, number. Okay, and then we're going to have a link to the field survey. So we want to reference the field survey. Okay, and then we want coordinates. So each survey point can have more than one coordinate. Sorry. So it's nice when you change a start tag, it automatically updates the end tag. So we're going to have a coordinate here. And we're going to say it's going to have a source. So we could say office entered. Okay, and then value. And that'll have a northing. Since we're surveyors, it'll have a northing and easting and elevation. So you can see Oxygen, or XML developer from Oxygen just makes this super intuitive. Okay, and then right here, I'll just show you how an attribute works. So we're going to have a coordinate type, and each point has to have at least one and only one primary coordinate. Okay, and then if it had a second coordinate, because you can do that, so that would look like this, type secondary. And you can see as we do that over here on the left, it's building an outline view, right? Shows you the element name and the attribute and the attribute value, right? Which is super helpful. This is collapsible, so it's like a tree view, like Windows Explorer, right? So super helpful here. As you click over here, it shows you the attributes, right, of your element, and it's also handy here. It gives you the X path to wherever you're at in the XML document, which is useful if you want to use XSL, XSLT to transform XML, or you want to write a schema. Okay, so pretty handy, right? And you can check and make sure this is a valid XML document. So if you go to Tools, let me see, where's it at? Nope. Now I can't remember where it's at. Alright, I'll have to remember where that's at. Alright, sorry guys, it's under document. So document validate, and we can validate it, and it'll let us know if we've got a valid file. This is just saying, hey, you don't have a DDT attached or schema, and that's okay. So also right here on the top, you can click down to select kind of different levels of the XML document, which is super cool. Okay, so very handy editor. It's a good product. I've enjoyed using it. You can see it makes it really easy to write an XML file. What I'm going to do in another video is teach you how you can validate an XML file in XML Developer using a schema. In fact, we might just go ahead and write a schematron schema for this example XML file we have here. So if you're working with XML as a software developer, check out XML Developer from Oxygen. In my opinion, it's the best value on the market, and these folks have done a good job on this software package.